you know what? I couldn't hardly go in there because my eyes are
Chubby.
so bad.
It's good.
We tried to play golf, we
10
tried to play
weeks
before with them.
old now.
Holly put me over where all that.
Yeah, the traffic, she's not gonna make it. Traffic is, 50 was terrible.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's all,
that boy of mine, I've been messing with him and,
All right, everybody, welcome to the Lawrenceburg Redevelopment Meeting for April the 8th, 2024. Ms. Hermish, can we get a roll call?
Yes, Executive Director Brian Messmore,
Present?
President Richard Richardson,
Present?
Vice President Lenny Fryman,
present.
Secretary Kevin Schaefer,
Present.
Member Janie Wilson,
here,
Member Brian Johnson,
Present.
School Board Member Aaron Shepard is absent, City Attorney Del Weldon.
Here.
I do have one national news and one.
All right, we've had time to review the meeting minutes from March the 11th. I'll take a motion to approve those.
So move.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any announcements this evening? If not, we'll move on to our financial report. Ms. Hermish, you want to provide that for us?
Yes. As of April 2nd, 2024, the balance for redevelopment is $3,128,556.
Any questions? If not, we'll move right into new business. Director Messmore, we've got Union Hall easement, which has been provided in our packets for review.
That's correct. As you will recall, there is a transformer in the west section of that lot. I spoke with Mr. Kenneth, the utility director, and everybody seems to be in agreement that we need to maintain a utility easement from Short Street back to the fence, which would cover access to that transformer long into the future. That's the drawing. And if you also recall, that's a portion of all the properties that we own that we're ultimately transferring to the parks anyway. So I'm looking for approval to begin the process of establishing that utility easement, for us transferring the property to, I believe it would go to utilities and they would maintain the easement. I think that's how that works. But I'm asking of you to get that process started.
We need a motion this evening to approve the Union Hall easement as laid out in our packets. Are there any questions about this?
No, this is just so we can get back here. We have to get to the electric and stuff, yeah. So nobody.
It's already,
change
it's a bit abutting one of our other lots, or you say the park?
The park.
Okay.
Yeah, so the north
no
side,
other-
the north side of the easement would be Union Hall property, the south side would be park property. And this would just provide direct
So
access.
no other community, it's no other community members, it's our property, I'm supposed,
That's correct.
so moved.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Second, Lenny, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the drawing department additional services number 3. Again, that has been made available to us in our packets.
Well, I will just kind of put it in a box for us. Obviously, these are, as reflected in the proposal for design changes. You know, we have our original as-built, our original construction drawings. And in the process of renovating an 1893 German dance hall, along the way we find opportunities, things that we hadn't contemplated during the original drawing and construction drawing phase, and we also run into problems. And as a result of those, and this is similar to the one we did, I don't know how long ago, but there's an evaluation period that goes on where, or a verification period where the architect, the mechanical engineer, and the structural engineer evaluate those alternatives, those opportunities, fix the problems. And in doing so, that requires new drawings and new submittals. And ultimately, when we get done, the construction drawings have to match what the building is, and it has to be, if it's a mechanical issue, the mechanical engineer has to evaluate and sign off. If it's a structural issue, the structural engineer has to review and sign off. So that creates new drawings, and ultimately final drawings and as-built submitted to the state. So, that's where we're at. It's, you know, it's not something that we look forward to. It is an additional cost associated with the renovation. Yes, sir.
So this is just the first part of it, because now there's gonna be additional costs for Maxwell as well, right?
That's not so.
No,
No.
this is just for
This-
updated drawings. These are changes that were made prior to the drawings being complete?
No, these are changes made after the original drawings were complete. But once you get in there and start to look at what the thing is, and you look at the drawing, and our general contractor and the owner-operator and the owner ourselves look at it and go, man, it'd be better if we did it this way. Well,
So where does
So-
the additional money to come from, not to update the drawings, but to do the actual work?
well, sometimes it's a savings in actual construction and materials and stuff. And that comes out of the original pot
Contingency?
and/or a contingency if necessary. This isn't about a contingency, and a lot of these don't even require the contingency. But they do require the new drawings and the new sign-offs by the structural mechanical. So, it is what it is. I wasn't completely happy, but I understand it.
So like, how many additional hours did they have, and what's their hourly rate? Because that's a pretty big hit.
Yeah,
Just
and we
updating
get,
some drawings.
we get billed for the hours by the architect, the structural engineer, and the mechanical engineer, and the bills are submitted and cover all three of those categories. So we will verify submittals against this addendum number 3.
Okay.
Any other questions? We need a motion to approve additional services number 3 to the drawing department. Do we have a motion to do so?
I'll make that motion.
Lenny, do we have a second?
Second.
Deanie, all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Appreciate that. Sometimes those are tough to swallow, but I hate to call it.
You feel like they're
necessary
being fair
evil.
though?
Huh?
You feel like they're being fair with us?
Absolutely.
Because,
Absolutely.
you know, when you already got your meat hooks in us,
Yeah, I get
it's
it.
easy to run up
I
the
get it.
charges.
No, I would think, and Lenny's been a part of some of the meetings over there, I'm not sure. But the folks that are involved in this really want to do it well and do it right, and they're hanging their hat
We all do,
on this.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that, but
Yeah. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, guys. Now, kind of happy news, we've got 542 West High that has been presented to us. I know we've got emailed some plans that we've reviewed. I see we've got one here in front of us as well.
Yeah,
Brian,
the
I'll
latest
throw it-
Latest and greatest.
Yeah, the latest and the greatest today just specifies where the masonry material meets the requirements on the front, the facade of the structure. Took a little longer than we wanted to get that particular, not that we didn't already agree we were gonna do it, we just didn't have a drawing that reflected it. So we got that today. I provided that to you all. The home meets or exceeds minimum requirements. It's approximately 2,000 square feet, and it does include the 40% masonry front finish, and it is appropriately, the construction methods are appropriate as requested, and Mr. Lil Miller will be following along the process and ensuring all those requirements are met.
Well, in addition to the drawings that you guys got earlier today, there have been some changes to the garage structure in the back will now, the material will match the house. And we do have some colors. It's gonna be black trim, with, white. And they added, they expanded the stone and added a gable to the front, in addition to locking in the 40% masonry. So those are the final plans that the Salins and Mr. Miller agreed to. So we appreciate them working with us to make this house be an amazing property. I think it's gonna be, it's a 3-bedroom house. It's gonna look really nice, it's gonna add a lot of value and add some good people to downtown, so that's what this was always about.
Question.
Does pole barn have to have the stone?
It does not have to have the stone, it's just,
Be black and white, it's gonna.
yeah, instead of the metal, it's gonna have the same material, and Mr. Miller thought that would be okay and it wouldn't add any cost, so.
So the material, it's board and batten siding, so the accessory building has to be board and batten siding too?
The same material, just not the
The
stone
stone.
requirement, yep.
What is the material of the house? I see the
Board and
front is stone, but what is the,
No, not all of it, it's board
yeah,
and
just
batten.
just the
and
front.
stone.
What is it called?
Board and batten, it's a vertical siding,
Okay.
or like, it's a farmhouse,
This is like hardy board or
it's, here,
like concrete board, or is it, I mean, is it easy to keep maintained as far as pressure washer? Because you guys are gonna be
all I know
white.
it's called board and batten.
I got a house down there, and like I said, with the black stuff in the air that Seagram's produces, it's just gonna, as far as the white's gonna look great for the first year. You just guys might wanna pressure wash it a lot. That's why I was wondering what the material on the house, if it was just gonna be like a vinyl
Well,
siding
you're
or
really selling
a
this.
hardy board. What's that?
I said, you're really selling this.
No, I'm just saying, it's beautiful. I mean, I love it's gonna look nice down there. You'd be my neighbor. So, but yeah, no, I think it's looking to be awesome.
So are you thinking we should change the color?
No, we're gonna black.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, like I
Color's
said,
your choice.
it's your house, it's your call. I wouldn't have a white house down there. That's just me. That's, like I said,
It doesn't matter what color your house is, though, it's gonna get.
well, go look at the school corporation. I was over there for 12 years on that board and, we just pressure washed the roof over there on that brand new gym and it looks like $1 million. Now, 2 years from now, you won't be able to tell we did it.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
Go look at the bleachers, go look at the drainage tile over the outfield fence. It turns black with that black mold, that angel share.
Well, I don't know, though. I've seen some of these new houses they've built down through here.
Downtown,
I haven't seen no
your
problem.
County trails, the levee, Riverwalk, the front, all of it will be great. So we'll sell you on that.
Yeah, it is gonna look beautiful, I mean, without a doubt.
Well, these new houses, I don't see no, and they've been up there 2 or 3 years, and I don't see anything with them, any kind of
Yeah, he's
black or
retired, he
anything
can take
mold.
care of
My house ain't gonna get dirty.
Yeah.
Give you something to do.
Got a
Right,
pressure
there you go.
But the roofs.
Oh, I did have one more
Black,
question,
so-
Brian, for you. Being right next to the levee, does this have to have any special footers or anything like that, being as close to the levee as it is?
I checked with,
I think
I talked to Sats too, he said we're cool with everything.
Okay, just curious. I mean, like I said, I see they got the drawings and stuff, but just a question.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. Really
Welcome to the neighborhood.
downtown.
Gee,
We get it.
I've been away for 28 years, babe, I'm coming home.
So
And I-
Welcome back.
Coming home. boy.
Yeah.
Try.
Like I said, the entire process, I reviewed this as the Sandlands. I didn't say what it was.
Hey, when I worked here, I crossed that river, I become David. I come on this side of the dog.
Okay, yep.
That's the way it was. Whew, I'm ready.
Need a motion, Richard?
Well, if we're good, let's get a motion to approve.
How about, so move?
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second, Eddie, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Welcome to the hood.
Well, I ain't had a beer in 20-some years, I might have one now. That ain't happening.
Thank you.
What's the anticipated move-in date?
I don't know. I mean, it's up to the builder, I guess, when he can do what he can do and.
Well, now it's up to you to write him.
Yeah.
I got him, I got
They have
him.
an anticipated.
What builder is it?
They have an anticipated start date for the project?
Well, it all depended on you guys.
Yeah, we're waiting.
So this is the
Yeah.
first step in it and we've met that and
Oh, great.
What's our next step? We go to the realtor now and get the lot, or what we
Yeah.
do?
Well, we can't wait to get you back.
Uh-huh.
I can't wait to get you back over. I'm gonna come in there and play music in that garage.
Yeah. Contact Mr. Lowe Miller. We've completed basically verified that you've met minimum requirements and some additional suggestions, and we appreciate that. So go back to Mr. Lowe Miller and they'll work to a closing from that point.
okay.
Is that correct?
Thank you.
Mr. Weldon?
Should we go over there now?
Yeah.
When I start mowing, I mean, can I mow it?
You don't have to stay here.
You're ready, you can, yeah.
Okay,
I'll mow it.
Yeah.
thank you.
Hey, thanks,
Left your
man.
phone on the,
Congrats.
your phone.
Get your phone.
My phone, I'm gonna care about that phone, I got that lot.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
See you. Congratulations.
Ready, man.
I do have some
We
late.
got an
Thanks,
additional,
everybody, thanks.
we have an additional piece of new business. I'll throw it to Director Messmore for that before we move on.
All right, appreciate you take and consider this evening. It was late. In fact, I did get it today. As you will recall, the Liberty, we were looking for alternative approaches and ways to locate the dumpster in the rear area and the grease tank, for lack of a better word, so that once the truck can come in and get rid of the grease. So anyway, we talked about putting all these things in the alley. I had our team meet over there, Civil City, and their team, and just everybody got together, and Civil City guys came up with a good idea. How about we contact US Bank and see if we can partner with them, and by partnering, they would get rid of their dumpster service. We would provide a larger dumpster in that current existing dumpster area, and the two facilities would share the dumpster, and we would maintain the dumpster and the operations around the dumpster. So it got it out of the alley, which is a great thing, and it got it into an enclosed container that already exists. And I have an agreement, a license agreement, to basically do what I just described. And since we own the property and we are essentially operating that business with a operator, we felt that it was best and that it was on the record, and the board had an opportunity to understand the purpose and the reason behind this.
Where's this property at, Brian?
It's the US Bank where their dumpster is now.
Mm-hmm.
They've got
Is it the parking lot we own?
no,
Oh.
it's in the parking lot they own.
Okay.
If we owned it, we wouldn't have to do this. So it's in the parking lot they own. They have a dumpster site.
Yeah.
And what we suggested to them is, hey, we'll take care of the dumpster from now on. And we're just gonna put in a bigger one, and we got it. You don't have to worry about it. You can get rid of your dumpster service. And they're like, cool, here, sign this, and we're off to the races. So as long as you guys don't care where we put the dumpster and they don't care, I just want to get on the record and ask for a vote to proceed in this manner.
Can I ask, what's the reason for this?
It's just, it's the best location. It already exists, and we don't have to put,
Did you mention something about like a grease trap or?
well, I can't, the grease bin,
It's behind the Liberty.
the waste
That
grease,
for
the
the
waste
old
grease
the old
that they have to
bar there?
pump into it, that you get rid of, not the stuff that gets buried in the grease separator, the stuff, the old oils that they pour in here, and then somebody comes around and sucks it out, excuse me.
Sure.
And so,
So do you have somebody that may be interested in opening up a new restaurant bar there in that location that's kind
For
of
the
private?
Liberty Theater,
for the,
they're gonna have a restaurant and a bar there.
What's that? I'm sorry.
the Liberty has a restaurant and a bar.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you was talking about the one in between US Bank and Liberty.
No, I'd like to see that someday.
Someday, huh?
Yeah. We do get interest, and we do communicate those interests to the property owners
Somebody just didn't want to really.
on a regular,
Yeah. Gotcha. Thank you.
So you need a motion to move forward with a licensing agreement with US Bank for the
dumpster location.
dumpster location.
Yeah,
Do we have a motion?
it's a good deal.
So
It's a
moved.
good place for it.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The last comment on that is it makes that alley that we are still going to close behind the Liberty much more usable when there are major events there. So, and it makes it easier for the trash guys and all that stuff.
All right, if there's no additional new business, under old business, we've got the Main Street report. It's been provided to us in our packets. If we have any questions about that, we can get with Michelle or Ms. Hermish can probably answer some of those questions as well if we had any. But we do have an additional piece of old business
That's correct.
as well.
Right. Now, we don't have to tear this up tonight and dig deep into it, but I did want to provide you with a brief update. Obviously, we have a contract on the row houses with M&M, and
In my mind.
yeah, and due to, I'm going to say, the entire process led to a delay in the start time. I don't want to pick any particular part of that process out. Let's just say that the entire process pushed us up against the start time, and in order to get completed in time before the event season, we ran out of time. So generally speaking, we are in discussions to amend the contract. Generally, those discussions are favorable. Those discussions are ongoing. And most of everything will just be a date change to start after the season and get complete before next season, event season. So nothing really fundamentally changes in the contract. We're trying to, once you put words on paper, and rightfully so, legal has to make sure that they make sense in the broader context of protecting both parties. So we're working on those words to move the dates and times. But again, all parties are still very interested in continuing and getting this project to completion.
I do remember asking specifically about this project, and I believe I was told that even with the delay that we had up front, 1 year was still a good timeline. Now, is that going to be different is what you're telling us now?
You mean for completion or the original
From
first part of the wall?
completion, when we signed the paperwork to go, that 1 year timeline was not supposed to be jeopardized. It was going to change some work
Whatever's in
around.
the contract now will continue to be in the contract. Only thing that changes is, roughly, the only thing that will change is when we get started.
I'm just going to throw this out there.
Yeah.
When we signed this, we signed up for this, one of the claims for them, there was another party involved that was interested in it as well. But they had a 1 year, start completion date that they were going to start it and have it complete in a year. The other party was going to take longer than a year. So that was kind of determined in when the factor, that we awarded them the project, if I'm not mistaken. But then the delay, whatever caused the delay, whatever. Then, even then, we said that, hey, is this going to affect the completion date? And I was told no, it wasn't, but maybe I'm just trying to
No, it's
my head
fair.
around that.
It's fair conversation. I know that was one of the factors that was made in determining. But, it's, everything's going to roughly stay the same other than the start date and finish date. I don't think that there's any party has suggested that there be any changes other than what's already in the contract, other than when we get started.
Well, and he means the finish date for the wall, Brian. So the wall is the thing that will now take longer, but those were always going to be two separate projects, more or less. The project as a whole should keep its same completion date.
Right.
But the wall was going to be done by
Well,
May
we
1st.
don't want to interfere with the outdoor schedule
Right,
that we've got down here. I understand that. But I'm just telling you, when we all knew that the outdoor schedule was going to start in May or whenever, the Thursday night music on the river. And we knew that wasn't going to be a problem because the music on the river is over what? August, September timing?
Yeah.
Then they can start on it right then. And
Yep.
my understanding that it wasn't going to be an issue. It could be two phases, inside and out, but I'm just asking a question.
Right, I think you're exactly right. That shouldn't change. So the only thing, so the project as a whole should keep all the same terms, because that's already started, same completion date, like you said, because that's important. It's just the wall, which was always
Well, how about when we see the new agreement, we see the original agreement side by side, and then we can determine what's changed at that point.
yeah, well,
I mean, that's fair enough, right?
it is, and what Brian's saying is that he is,
I mean, we're already in deep. It's like, we're there, but I still would like to see
yeah, not necessarily.
what was agreed upon originally and where we're at now.
Right, he's saying that he's doing what you're saying, which is keep the
Right.
dates the same for the total project. It's just that because of the event season, instead of trying to get the wall done before May 1st or June 1st, now they're just gonna start on it October 1st. and have it done in the off-season. But the whole building will be done by the same date as before. 'Cause those are two separate phases, like you said, so I think you're both saying the same thing.
I'm hearing everything you're saying. Show me the numbers, let's look at the dates.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I'm talking about. Like
Yeah,
I said, just a conversation. I appreciate Brian giving us the update.
I knew you were gonna ask.
Any other questions?
I got nothing.
Nothing, Lenny?
Have option meetings.
And had had.
All right, if there's no additional old business, we'll take a motion to approve the claims.
So move.
Ryan, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Comments from the audience? Only have one member.
Yeah.
We got the other two left.
You gave him a chance.
All right, take a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second,
Thank you.
Second.
all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
You.
good job, Scott.